Alright. This time we are rebooted, guys. We are rebooted. Let me know how the quality is looking tonight. We are back, guys. What's up? It's Micro Mondays. We are back. Second try of the night. Just trying to get a good quality connection for you guys because we got a lot to tune into. A lot to again, but if we're not looking good, we're still gonna just keep it rolling. Unfortunately.
Fresh as fuck now, he said. It's always weird on my end, but that's okay.
All right, I like to hear crisp. Sometimes it gets kind of crazy in the beginning sometimes, but hopefully you guys can see at least one of the screens, if not both, pretty clear. And appreciate everybody joining. We had a busy week end, just working on those bodies, guys, FJs. So if you haven't seen, I just recently posted a reel, the new paint job, the Traxxas, a few extra goodies, changed up the tires. We got RC Steve links now for the Traxxas. We can talk about that later.
180p, I love that. That's hilarious, dude. Look at the fucking calipers and shit like that.
1P again? Damn.
Wow. Let's just work through. It's only going to be the same if we do it again.
Yeah. Well, give it some time, guys. It'll get better once everything settles. Everybody joins in. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we got the body work and paint jobs done on Mark's end, looking sick with that FJ from the Hard Body Crawler Company. Custom. Damn. Can we take a quick little hands up walk around?
Hands up, walk around.
Yeah, you know, like me. Show it off. Yes, sir. It's looking crazy. You got some convertible action right now. What is that? Is that carbon fiber?
I put a bunch of carbon fiber wrap on it, on the dash, doors, and way back when I did the grill, or the radiator, whatever you want to call that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Still, I mean, it's driving, but it's still not done. So I still I want to put a cage in it and tighten up the interior a little bit. Maybe find a driver.
It's looking fresh, man. I love the look already.
Appreciate it, man. Same thing with that 80 series you got up there, right out of the paint booth.
Right. Appreciate you. We're still under construction, guys. Still got the driver's seat to put in, and you know, the drivers and passengers get some lighting in, and I gotta look for my side mirrors, guys. I lost them, so I don't want to order them because it's gonna be like $20 for just those pair of mirrors. So
you'll find them as soon as you order another set anyway.
Yeah, right. Hopefully I can find it pretty soon. So now we got those taken care of. Mark, we got to see more of that FJ. Maybe if you take some pictures and post it on your story.
Yeah, I'll get on that one for sure. Cool. I literally just kind of tightened it up over yesterday.
Dope.
Yesterday afternoon. So yeah, still 110 calling on Friday. I saw you got out with Daniels from where's he from? Austria, right?
Yeah, from Austria. If you guys haven't followed Daniel S_199 on Instagram, he's a great guy to follow. He's a RC 4-wheel drive team driver, and he's always doing custom builds to the max. He has two Traxxas builds, one 4-wheel steer and one with 30% overdrive. He's using a RC four-wheel drive 1/18 axle in the rear. So that one's actually reduced a little bit. So it's like a underdrive overdrive setup, more so underdrive, I think.
Okay.
And with all the calculations he got from the ratios, he comes out with 30%. So he's getting 30% overdrive to the front. And he basically widened the back out with some hex wideners to bring it back to the original width of like a Traxxas setup. So if you guys ever have that, you saw it there. Daniel's always doing some crazy stuff. Check his page out. Shout out to him. Appreciate you crawling Columbia with me, brother, and meeting up with all the homies, some 24 goons, and it was fun.
Oh yeah, who was all there?
There was a blue collar crawler. There was 4x4 to the face. There was Frijolitos. I forgot his real Instagram name, but all the homies, Slap Industry, and then brought the homies through, I think, VR, RC fam, the homie Vic, and Ty. So there's a whole bunch of cool homies out there. Yeah, it was cool. Kind of like we all just met up, and I mean, we happened to all be there. I told Daniel to meet me there, and ended up seeing all the homies, so it's pretty cool. Can't ask for a better Friday evening.
That's rad. Oh, yeah.
But let's go ahead and bring on, speaking of friends, we want to bring on our homie from the East Coast, jteams RC. We're going to go ahead and send him an invite, but if you guys haven't followed jteams RC, great guy, humble dude, great homie, part of the micro community to the max, and repping the East Coast hard out there, showing the love and hosting 24 comps. Guys, if you guys haven't checked out his page, passion is here, guys. And without further ado, boy, welcome.
Thank you, guys.
What is good?
What's up, brother?
Hey, appreciate you having you on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. If you guys haven't, if you guys don't know, he's a Team Flub RC team driver now. So congrats to him, and he's got a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. Let's first of all dive into who you are, where you're from, and what got you stoked to do the micro crawlers and RC in general.
My name's Jay. I'm from New Jersey. What got me into the micro crawlers, I guess, was the pandemic. 3 years ago in 2020 was when I picked up my first one. And then from there, just a local hobby shop going in there, they kind of pushed me to start doing the comps because nobody was doing anything around here. And they had a nice 10 scale course already there that you could set up, 24 scale courses on. And that's how it all started, really. And this Sunday is our second one for the month of this year.
Damn. Already cranking them out.
Yeah.
And
it's picking up big time. There's a lot of people. There's a couple other places here in New Jersey that are doing events now. Place Hidden Valley, and then there's another group called TC3 RC that they're doing some comps. So it's definitely picking up for sure. I'm actually also in the process with Jersey Crawler Joe Harrington setting up a ORV park for RCs at Hoagland Speedway. We're going to do like G6 events, tough truck, 10 scale, 24 scale, 18 scale, rock crawling comps, free crawls, just a good time. Something that New Jersey needs more of because there's not enough places. We don't have the rocks and stuff like out west or Midwest has. Northern New Jersey has some rocks, but it's very select.
Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, I know you're super innovative with the locations and like For example, one of the spots I think you helped do was, oh, sorry. I think we're on echo, but Mark, your mic real quick.
I swear I don't have it close to the soundbar again.
Well, all right. You guys can hear me, but sorry about that. Sorry, Mark, if you have to get muted a little bit. But that little event that you had at the mini golf course, utilizing those cool rocks and stuff for not only the micros but the 110s and stuff, right?
Yeah, the fairway crawl.
Okay.
That's actually something that's going on again this year. They have the dates set already. I forget exactly what they are, but it's posted on NJ Scale Off-Road on their Facebook page for the fairway crawl and the castle. It's the other event that they do.
See, that's what I love to hear is that you guys, I mean, at least for me, where I'm at, doesn't seem that there's as many little micro comp events in my area as much as there is where I see where you are and more on the East Coast side. And that's what's cool. And I like to see that it's starting over here a little bit. And you're actually helping start upcoming event next in March, I believe, with LBCRC, right?
Yeah.
That one should be cool.
Yes. Yeah, he's starting to do the micro comps, the meetups and the comps out there, and his next one, the March Madness. I'm coming out there. I'm going to come out there for a couple days, and I'll be out there for that event. So I'm stoked for that one. That should be a real good time.
Nice, man. That's dope. Well, let's see what your recent baby that you guys have been working on in your little J Teams garage, because you guys haven't seen the scale garage setup from J Teams. Putting a great efforts into that, making it look so scale, guys, and everyone's got their own details and personal touches that it really makes the whole vibe come alive. So check it out, guys. That's the Flub RC FJT body.
Yes. Yeah, that's the
Nice.
155 body.
Dude.
And then I built the bed out of balsa wood. And then that's scale diamond plate, styrene diamond plate. And then the fuel cell I made out of the case a Power Hobby servo comes in, the packaging. And then this is actually a stock SEX 24 shock that I cut, glued in there. And then the cap was the top part that had the reservoir on it. I cut it all off and sanded it down.
Damn. That's so sick.
Sorry, I gotta jump in. That looks dope.
Thank you. And then the bed's connected to the body with just E6000, and everything's held on with the flub magnets to the sliders. And then that's just a servo that I glued into the seat that's tied into a Y splitter on with the steering servo.
That's epic, man. And 6x6, can't beat that. Go everywhere, farm truck setup. That's pretty sick, dude.
The Mias Racing LCG 6x6 chassis with their portals, the Mias Racing portals, the Fury Tech Mini Komodo, and a Power Hobby 59 MG servo.
Dude, what a beauty, man. That's definitely something I want to give a go at is a 6x6 24.
Thank you. And just real quick, this is the my Mias Racing. I'm going to bring these out there when I come. I'm going to try to bring as many micros as I can fit in a suitcase. And I'm going to try to bring the, I'm definitely bringing the Bushido as well.
Yeah, that's always the hard part is which one to bring and, how many can you bring.
Yeah. Yeah,
They all drive
I mean,
different. They all do like their own thing. They all got their own character.
yeah,
Super sick.
and the rocks, just the scenery and everything out there on the West Coast that you don't have here on the East Coast. I almost like I want to bring every truck, but right now it's like there's like 9, and I don't think I can fit that many. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe I should put a
Yeah.
poll up and see which ones you guys want me to bring.
Yeah.
Or
And if you
which
guys
ones.
are listening too, shout out what you guys would bring on an airplane, like which main little 24 rig you guys have that your carry all.
I also on Wednesday nights I do a show with Wayne's RC World called What's Up Wednesdays, where anybody can join and just share their builds, their scale garage, and just tips and tricks on what they did to make it, how they did their builds. Just another day to hang out, similar to what you guys kind of do and what Monday Night Mashups is. So.
That's sick, man. Definitely we'll have to tune into that. And along with Monday Night Mashup, I know you've been joining their show quite often, so those guys are awesome guys. Size Matters.
Yes,
along with
size matters.
Yeah, Size Matters RC. Shout out to you, brother. That's cool. Definitely, I'll have to catch you and Wayne on Wednesday. And not only do you have a cool garage, but don't you offer a cool some products too, like for the 24 needs if you possibly need? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I offer some stuff like it's stuff that all other companies you can get with other companies as well. It's not like I didn't design this or make any of this stuff. It just has Team RCs on it and comes in a cool package. But it's stuff that I think is good quality and I think works well and looks good. But this is a carbon fiber LCG chassis. Offer brass steering knuckles. I have double barrel black shocks, double barrel red shocks, brass steering links, brass diff covers, brass wheels, 5-spoke aluminum wheels, and then box drivers, hex drivers, and then a SCX24 tool set. So just some things, nothing.
Yeah, that's cool. Convenient tools for if you guys are close by or happen to meet them at the hobby shop,
Yeah.
and they unfortunately don't have what they got, at the shop. You can always hit up J Teams. And dude, that's sick for sure. What was I gonna say? Oh, don't you have a build of like a whole J Teams build too? Like one of those chassis?
Yes, I do. Where is it? Oh, right here. Yeah, that's with it built already, and that's the Fury Tech Micro Komodo motor in there. That's the Power Hobby 59 MG servo, and there's a Lizard Pro ESC tucked underneath.
Yeah, what I like about your builds is you always have everything like dialed in, custom, something always is new.
Thank you. I try to keep it clean and different. These are those wheels here. You can see the bead holds nice and tight. They're on the smaller side, so if you were going to get the flubber stuffers for them, it would be the smaller diameter.
Okay, so the Type S for any of those guys wondering?
Yeah, for that and the brass ones, both sets that I have, they would be the Type S. And here they are on the new Enduras, the Swamper style or Scrambler, with a little more heavier duty on the TRX 4M.
Nice. Well, man, see, you definitely have a whole bunch of RC, goodies, and not only that, you put all that effort into your local hobby shop that lets you host those comps and stuff. So, big shout out to you, brother, for hosting those and getting together, everybody around you, which is the most important thing in the hobby. To always, just have fun and invite people, have people, check it out. Because, we never would expect the little guys to start either performing pretty good or everybody's having their own look on the rigs in general. So the whole uniqueness about it, in the little scale is super cool and convenient. Just crawl right there like you're showing right in your own room.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very fortunate to have this for sure. It's definitely my Zen course. It's nice, but I appreciate you guys letting me join.
Yeah, of course. Mark, do you got any questions for you?
No questions. Just compliments. Like, I love all your builds and love everything you're doing out there. Say what's up to everybody.
Thank you.
Brandon Fine Line, my boy Micro RCOG,
Aaron
Coleman. Yeah, I've known that dude for a long time. So it's good to see you guys all getting out and doing it.
Yeah. There's a good group of people in the micro community that attend the event. It's nice.
Dig it, man. Dig it.
Cool.
All right, that's all.
Yeah, brother. Well, appreciate you again.
Is it still all re-re-re? Is it echoing on you?
Yeah.
Oh. See, now it's doing it. He's doing it to me. Hold on, let me. Steve.
Yo.
Is it echoey?
Yeah, a little bit. Why don't you try lowering the radio a little bit?
How's that?
I don't know. I think I can still. Yeah, that's weird how it
I really
happens.
hear it in another room with it. Usually I'm bumping, dude. Usually got
I know.
the reggae or something.
Oh, I don't know why.
We'll just go with the gram. Blame the gram.
Yeah, right.
Bro. Bro.
Say what you gonna say.
That's it.
All
Alright, so we're doing
we're getting on
rules.
to the rules for sure.
Alright. I'll sit back in the cut, you ask questions, and I'll see what I can do in the chat.
Yeah,
Keep the
chime in too.
Okay, we'll do.
All right. Appreciate you though, Mark. I still love you.
It's all good, man. They can't all be perfect, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, Bardo says IG is tripping, so.
It is for sure.
And then Size Matter says their show was the same earlier.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll get them on. Let's do this.
All right. So without further ado, guys, you just gotta mute the mic. Okay. Thanks. Without further ado, guys, we got CCRC Adventures. Our boy Chad. He's actually I don't know if he's the creator of this organization or the rules, but either way, we got Chad, and as well we got our good homie MW303. So let's go ahead and invite both of them. We can have a chat and just say what's up. It's all fun and games, guys. But we like to have some little bit of structure when it comes to the competition side and make sure that everything's as fair as can be. Yep. And without further ado, guys, welcome again, Chad and Mitchell MW for the first time on Micro Mondays. Appreciate you, brother. How's everybody tonight?
Yeah, good. I'm getting over COVID, so I'm going to try to keep the coughing to a minimum. But I think I'll be all right.
No problem, man. Glad you're healing up.
Yeah.
So I got over here actually to my side the RCMCCA, which if you guys haven't heard of this, it's short for the Radio Control Micro Crawler Competition Association, and
There's the
that's pretty much the group we're going to talk about. So you guys kind of a little bit more serious on the competition side, and you want to host some events in your town too that will abide by the rules that'll be eligible to, progress you into a little bit more serious, like the regionals and the nationals, all the official stuff. These are the rules right here for you. So, you mind just sharing, what you guys thought of the rules, or what made you guys kind of start this, and, how have you guys been comping with the micros before all this stuff?
Well, I started a couple years ago. Started a group here in town. I've been in RC in one form or another since probably the mid '80s, and I've always kind of gravitated more towards racing versus bashing or the hobby side or whatever. Mostly on-road stuff, but then when I got into the crawlers, I like the idea of just getting some friends together and setting up a course and seeing who could get through it the best. So at the time, it's basically everybody just came up with their own rules. Some rules were real similar to others, some were really different, and so we just kind of did the same thing. We just came up with our own, and we held several comps. And the first couple didn't have very many, but the last few we actually had to cut off our entries because of pit space, and then we had like 10 or 15 on the waiting list. So the popularity is really there. And I was talking to, I believe it was Ken Pilcher online. He was asking, are there any big events coming up, any like nationals or anything like that I can go to? And we got to talking. We're like, no, there isn't anything. But I think that the main thing holding it back is that all the rules are kind of homebrew. People come up with whatever they want to run, which is fine. But in order to go past just something local, it only made sense to come up with a standard set of rules that could be adopted everywhere. And then people that wanted to go to the regionals and the nationals, they're already familiar with those rules. They're building their vehicles to go along with those rules. So it's just, we felt like that was the best first step to build towards what we wanted to see, which is a series of regional and national championships, which we're hoping to do next year.
Nice. So definitely makes a little bit more sense for me. And definitely it's pretty much a new addition, to get into the regional and nationals categories. So
yes,
that's pretty exciting. It's a one step forward to, trying to just dial everything in for this little class.
Yeah, we were just waiting. I think everybody was kind of sitting back waiting, saying, okay, who's going to come up with some rules that we can all follow? And I just finally said, well, I'm tired of waiting. I'll just do it myself. So Ben Lowe and I had been talking about it, going back and forth online, private message and stuff. So I finally said, look, let's just do it. Let's just get together. Let's do it. We'll come up with some rules. We'll put them out there, and then we'll get input from people. What we really wanted to do, I didn't want this to be something where I put some rules out there and said, these are the rules. Follow them or don't follow them, whatever, because that was really no different than what was already out there. We wanted this to be really a community-driven sport. So we put the rules out and put them out on our Facebook group and got input from all the members. And, we talked about what rules we liked, what rules we didn't like. We went through several revisions and finally got to, a point where we were happy with them. We went and recruited people. Ben recruited Mitchell. I recruited a couple people to form a board of directors because I don't want it to be just my group. I want it to be everybody's group. And we do it one way on the East Coast. You guys do it a different way on the West Coast. They do it differently out in the Midwest. So I'm not going to sit here and say I know the best way to do it, but I wanted to get a bunch of people from different backgrounds, different experience levels, put them all together, and then that way we could all put our heads together and come up with what we thought was really the best set of rules out there.
Sounds pretty fair to me. So something just at least for everybody to kind of have a basis on, a foreground and then
Yep.
yeah, obviously you guys don't have to go rule by rule if you guys don't want to, but it's
Right.
all about having fun. And but if definitely you guys want to do it to the T, it'll definitely be eligible. You could take it all the way to the top, to the nationals and stuff like that. So
Yes.
that's pretty cool. And for those of you guys who are definitely getting interested, there's actually different classes, right?
Yeah.
That'll kind of put you in certain areas. So it's not like you're going against, crazy
Right.
hardline buggies versus like, a stock versus, stock SEX 24 or something like that.
Right.
Mind giving a quick rundown or?
Yeah. We have three main classes, then we have what we call a class 0. Our regional and national events, we're going to run class 1, 2, and 3. Class 0 is one that has very limited modifications allowed and is a way for somebody to get into competition without spending a lot of money. We also suggest that clubs that run it have a rule that once somebody runs or wins class 0 twice, they're not eligible. They have to move up to the next class. But beyond that, we do have, like, this is a class 3. Any of the buggies are class 3. This is a class 2, which is somewhat similar. It's limited on tire size. It has to run a body. Class 1 is closest. This is still in pieces, obviously, but it's closest to stock. It's a small tire class. It has to run bumpers. Has to run a full body. This one obviously wouldn't qualify. I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do with this. But we've kind of structured it so that there's a very clear delineation between the classes and what modifications are allowed. But we also are trying to keep it open so that people can build theirs however they want to. We don't specify that it has to be an STX 24. It doesn't have to be a Traxxas. It can be whatever you want to build, but it just has to fit within the parameters. It has to fit between the gates, obviously. So, if somebody wanted to run a 18th scale or something, if they could make it fit between the gates, sure, run it.
Okay, cool. As long as it, has that width span limitations and stuff
Right.
like that.
As long as it fits within the rules, and we've looked at several different vehicles, and I haven't seen one yet that you couldn't build to fit in most of the rules. Like some of them, like if you look at the FMS, it comes with just a half cab. That wouldn't be legal for class 1. You'd have to put a different body on it, but you could make it legal for that class. You could make any of those legal for any classes.
Okay. And then, let's see, I see a question down here. So, class 1, is any rails good so long as it's a 0 degree skid?
Correct.
So, say, can we run like carbon
Correct.
rails?
Correct. And it doesn't have to be stock rails. It can be any aftermarket rail. It does have to be a 2-rail system, so you can't run, a buggy. But it just has to have a 0 degree skid.
Got you. Okay. So, guys, for class 1, it's a kind of like a, you can get modded, but you got to keep it still simple, like a plain style body, 0 degree chassis, a little bit more like of a realistic driving style.
Yes.
And then your class 2 would be kind of like a little bit more aggressive, kind of like the builds a lot of people normally type of builds.
Yes.
And say like your class 3s are like, the Dementors or the Pitbulls, et cetera, the Acres.
Yeah. Most of the builds that I see online are probably going to fall into class 2.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Oh. Okay, and then let's see.
Yeah, I'd say class 2 is my favorite class.
It's definitely fun.
Just from what I've seen, I think it's probably going to be the most popular.
Right on. I'm definitely stoked to see. And now, as for gates, are we? Because I know a lot of people tend to run like long courses. How is the gates? Are those just like plain 10 gates?
We do 10
just
gates.
kind of like a regular.
And again, we give them the option to do whatever they want to do. We suggest what we think is going to work best, but we don't know every person's person's course. So if they have something that works better, they're free to do that. Just know that when you go to the regionals and nationals, we're going to run the rules exactly as they're written. But we suggest 10 gates, and then we suggest 2 to 3 bonus gates. And in class 0 and 1, we have a minimum 6.5 inches wide gates, and in class 2 and 3, it's minimum 7 inches.
All right. So, don't you think that would be like a little bit wide, or that's pretty fair?
We have tried it with narrower gates and with wider gates, and the same people are winning no matter what the gates are.
Got it.
And this also gives people a little bit more flexibility in what they build. Like if somebody wants to run, say, one of the Traxxas vehicles that's a little bit wider, they're going to have a harder time going through those gates than an STX 24. But that doesn't eliminate. Well, we didn't want to eliminate any vehicles. We just wanted to, I tried 6 inches and 6.5 inches early on, and we were getting a lot of penalties. We were getting fewer penalties now, but there still aren't many fully clean runs. So it's what works for us. And one of the things that we have built into the rules and into the way the organization is formed is at the end of the season, we're going to sit down, the board of directors, there's 9 of us. We're going to sit down and we're going to go through all the rules and see, well, does anything need to be changed? Does anything give somebody an advantage, somebody a disadvantage? And if that's the case, then we'll adjust. But we're also taking input from the clubs that run our rules. We're going to say, at the end of the season, give us your feedback. Did you all have people that didn't like this rule or would rather see this rule? And if we have enough people saying this needs to be changed and this is why, then we'll sit down and we'll look at it. It's not a dictatorship. It's a community organization. So we want everybody to know that we value them using the rules and we value their input. So, we want to give everybody a voice as much as is reasonable.
Definitely that sounds legit to me, and definitely that's important, guys. If you guys want to make it revised, and everybody has an opinion to everything, so it's all about still coming together and bringing our opinions to find a good balance. And definitely I like the idea of people being able to bring stuff up if it becomes like a big deal to some people and whatnot. Right. But mainly it's the foreground of the rules, so there's definitely be, I'm sure, some revisions as the years go by and stuff like that. We got a couple questions too.
Sure.
Is there any motor? A lot of people are kind of talking about the width, so we'll definitely come to that. You guys definitely, if you want to involve yourself, well, you guys know what to do. But how about motor restrictions in each class? Is there any?
We don't limit electronics in any of the classes except class 0. And I'll give you a little background on how our rules got developed. We had some rules, and then we got the board of directors together, and when we went through each rule, and everybody said, okay, I like this one, I don't like this one, I think this should be changed. And whenever we all agreed on something, we left that rule like it was. Whenever we didn't agree, we voted on it. So there are some rules, and I think I can speak for everybody, Mitchell and everybody else, that there's at least one rule, or there's at least one time that somebody didn't agree with the rule. We don't agree with everything, but we go with the majority rule. And our policy is, if the majority likes it, we're going to run it and we're going to see, and then we're going to go from there. If we need to adjust, we need to adjust. And we're a new organization. We're not going to sit here and say we're perfect. We're not going to sit here and say, this is the absolute best rule set that's ever been invented and nothing else is ever going to come close. We're community based. So if something needs to be changed, we'll change it. Right now, we're really happy with what we've got. We think it's a really solid set of rules. We have had some people, wondering, about this rule, that rule, saying you should change this, whatever. My advice is run them like it is. If we start seeing that something's giving someone an advantage or disadvantage, then we'll look at it. But right now, I know of one competition that's taken place using these rules last weekend. That's the only one that I know that's taken place so far. There's a lot planned, but right now it's just speculation. We came up with what we thought was going to work the best just based on our experience and our backgrounds. But it's a living thing. It's going to adjust as it goes, and there may be a new vehicle that comes out or a new part that comes out that makes us have to stop and say, oh, we've got to change this rule right now. Who knows what they're going to release next? So we've got to, just stay on top of all that. And we do a lot of research. We're going to a lot of the shows and competitions. I know Ken's going to the Scale Truck Expo and taking some of our information and talking to people down there. So we're gaining traction, and we set up from the beginning saying we're not going to please every single person, and that's fine. If we set up to say everybody's going to be happy with this from the beginning, we would have never gotten off the ground. There's going to be people that disagree, and that's fine. Like I said, try them out, become a member club, give us feedback, and we'll go from there.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd have to say I agree. I mean, there's things on the rules that I voted against myself, but that's why it works, that we have the board. It's a majority rule. We're using these rules in practice, so we're still seeing what works, and they're open to revision.
That's a great point, Mitchell. And then also, too, what's a good point in, say, a comp scene, or it's definitely in my opinion, it's different than just trailing around and enjoying, the open trails. It's a little bit more, it's a lot more fast paced, tighter, a little bit stressful. If you guys haven't tried it, you get all shaky and stuff like that your first time. It's funny. Yeah. Sweats, but people think maybe like the gates are wide and stuff, but you also have to think some people will set their gates, like their routes, tighter than you think. So you really have to aim and think about your overdrive setup, and maybe a TRX4 is not the best, even though sometimes it handles insane. Maybe the long wheelbase and the wide track width hurts because it doesn't have overdrive, whereas a Gladiator, it's probably long wheelbase. Super 8s, there's always different trucks for different courses, in my opinion. So
yeah, we set up a lot of our courses outside when it's nice enough, and I mean, sometimes it doesn't matter how wide the gate is. It's like you have to winch up it anyways. So depending on the terrain. I could see wanting a nice narrow gate when the terrain's not extremely difficult, but when you're driving on really difficult terrain, sometimes it doesn't matter.
And our competitions here, a lot of times we'll set ours up where the obstacle itself is more important than the gate. You're trying to get up an obstacle. Once you get up the obstacle, that's the accomplishment. Then you can go through the gate. And we set up some like that and some where the gate's more important. So it's just, we wanted to give everybody the flexibility to set it up and run it the way they want to and what works for the people that come to their competitions.
Definitely. I like how you say, you kind of let them work for their line, and then they'll find that reward after, clearing a nice, clean gate. So I'm the same way as that. I like to set up kind of like deceiving lines, but if you just believe in yourself, I can just send it pretty clean and stuff like that. So, different setters or different people are going to set the courses differently. It just depends on if you are definitely interested in starting your own event or going to different ones. Some people will probably have, their own style of setups, and different events will have their own widths and all that stuff like that. So the main reason what I see in the comments is it's definitely a good step, in the right direction where we're going for the micro community, and pretty cool to see, comps all around the nation. You get to see a lot of people have little trucks now, so it's pretty cool. For saying hosting, say, an eligible event that'll kind of you can record or take your winnings to the next level? How would one be able to kind of do one of those events?
We're working out the details on that. We're not ready to put that out and make that public yet. We're still in the beginning stages, getting the rules out there and getting them to the clubs and getting them in use.
Okay.
Look more towards the end of this year for us to announce more how it's going to work, moving on to regionals, moving on to nationals, and stuff like that.
Okay, so definitely understand. Definitely, it's kind of just a warm up, guys. A heads up, pre-game, get your trucks built up, to the tee, and go from there. That's cool.
We want to encourage everyone to start a club and join on the website.
One thing we want to do is
big deal too.
We want to get a directory going of people that are using our rules, so that if we see all the time people on Facebook or whatever saying, is there anything in my city or in this state or whatever, and it would be nice to be able to point them to it and say, if you're in this state, go check out this club. So anybody that's interested, get in touch with us. If you have any questions, get in touch with us. It costs nothing to be a member. You just let us know your information. We'll add you to the site, and then that will also get you the ability to give us feedback at the end of the season as far as rule changes and updates and things like that.
Sweet. And just checking some last questions on the chat. How about, say, a good example, the newly released AX24? What would that be, say, considered under?
It'd be Class 3 because of the four-wheel steering.
Got it. There you guys go.
Four-wheel steering goes into Class 3.
Boom, boom. And if you guys want to see a lot more in-depth rules, we can go on for hours and hours discussing each rule. But all you guys got to do is go here. Super easy. Can screenshot that. RCMCCA.org. It'll take you straight to the website. You guys can sign up for any notifications, check out the members and all that stuff, and then most importantly, the rules. And say if I go to the rules, you guys can see all the rules for Class 1, 2, and 3, and get the little guys or the newcomers into the Class 0 to just get their feet wet. And since this is kind of not officially, in act yet, it's kind of just something to go by, and feel free to change up the rules, guys, to how you guys want it. The main thing is just to get a community involved into, having fun, coming out, trying a little competition here and there, and, putting the trucks to the limits. So definitely, guys, shout out where you guys are from, where you guys are watching. Let's try and bring everybody together, do some more meetups for the micro guys this year. Mitchell and Chad, anything else you guys want to let the micro fam know?
No, just, I know that competition isn't something that appeals to everybody, and that's fine, but I do think everybody should try it at least once. You'll be surprised how quickly you'll get hooked. Just, check it out, look around and, see, even if you don't want to put on a big scale event, pretty much everyone that's into RC knows at least one other person that is into RC. So it just takes a couple, and don't get frustrated if you get started and you don't have a huge turnout. Our first one, we had 6. Now we're having 40 and 50. So, it starts small, and we created, this is something I meant to touch on earlier. We created these rules so that when you're doing tech inspection on a vehicle, you don't have to measure anything. Everything's visual. You can look and see, is this the right size tire? Does the body cover the tire this way? Is this the right length? Whatever. Because I know if any of you have been to some of the other competitions, the bigger scale, you spend a lot of time in tech. You spend a lot of time measuring and counting up points and doing this and that before you even get to drive. tech inspection on one of these vehicles by our rules take 20, 30 seconds. So we set that up so that people getting started could do it just by themselves. When I ran my first few competitions, it was just me. I was doing all the tech inspection, all the scorekeeping, all the timing, everything. So I really wanted something that would work at that scale and would also work at a much larger scale. I think that's kind of what we've come up with.
And
there
Chad
are
put
score
score
sheets
sheets
on the
website too.
Oh, nice.
Right on.
There is a PDF of the rule book if you want to download that too.
Yeah, that's cool. You definitely got everything. You guys are working on it. We got a rule book, score sheet. Feel free to make some little printouts. And then also, guys, you know, it's got to be a strong community. It's got to be a teamwork effort. You know, not just one person can just do all the trucks, looking at them and judging and writing down all the scores. So you guys are really into it. You know, have some homies help, and you know, bring a couple pizzas for the day. You know, let them, everybody will have a good time. Some waters, whatever you want.
And yeah, KZ, we have talked about scale points where we've talked about it at least.
We've talked about it.
We're going to incorporate it anytime
right
soon,
now. There's not a plan to do scale points because that just opens up a whole side of the competition that we're not ready to tackle yet. Intent scale points work fine because you can do a lot of these scale things and it doesn't hurt performance as much as it does in the 24th scale. I think everybody knows, you know, if you have a hard body vehicle, it's going to perform worse than a Lexan body vehicle with the same setup everywhere else. And that's, you know, I love hard bodies. I love scale stuff. But we also, again, wanted to get it, you know, we want to spend more time driving, less time looking at vehicles. We want to, you know, we want to have everybody show up, get checked in, say, okay, you're good to go, and then start competing. We don't want to have to, you know, add up points. Is this, you know, is this legal for this scale? Is this, you know, whatever. That's just not something that we were wanting to get into right now. Again, if, you know, if our member clubs want that and there's enough demand for it, we'll look at that down the road.
Yeah, I know my club. We all
you guys
points, so we're trying to figure something.
I don't have a club yet, but I'm in it to win it too. So it definitely is kind of like the next level too.
Yeah,
you know,
to do what works best for them. You know, we know that, you know, when you move up and start going to regionals and nationals, these are the rules you're going to run by. But, you know, if you feel like scale points would work best for your competition, incorporate. If you feel like that a different size gate or a different number of gates or, you know, whatever would be different, you know, would work better for you, do that.
Yeah, I'd say house rules over rules.
You
Just get a comp going
You guys
together.
just get a comp going together. This is a really good
And
start.
you can change it as you want.
And you can
Yeah.
change it as you
number
want.
rule number one, start the event. Get the event going.
Yeah, just get people together.
Yeah.
Get people together.
I never
Great
thought
time.
I'd be into comp.
I never thought I'd be able to comp in these trucks. So.
Well, brothers, that's pretty dope, guys. Thank you for putting in all this effort into, you know, making something everybody user friendly, to just have a starting ground, and, you know, those who aren't too familiar about rules and stuff, you guys have easy access to a foundation of rules, and feel free to implement other stuff, but just guys know everything that they put out will be official until further notice. That will take you guys to the ultimate level of like the regionals and nationals. And you know, this is the competition side of the micros, and that's what it is. There's a competition side of crawling, there's a trail side, you know, scale side. So it's always cool to dip our toes in a little bit of everything and try something out for one time here or there. See if you get hooked. Chad and Mitchell, you guys, thank you so much for showing the RCMCCA off and a little bit of what's it about. You guys definitely put a lot of work into it, as well as other guys doing it too. Like I see Ross RC Crawlers in the chat. I know he does his Northwest comps out there too. So everybody who's getting their events together, shout out to you guys for bringing everybody together. And you know, we wouldn't be able this far without you guys. You know, having the passion, drive these little trucks like crazy.
That's right.
So we'll definitely.
You guys for having us.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for having us, man. I'm a big fan of the show. I'm always on the comment.
If anybody has any questions,
If anybody has any questions, hit me up.
Yeah, guys.
For the community.
MDub303 on IG and CC_RC_adventures on Instagram. If you guys just click the Micro Mondays name at the top, you guys can see their names and give them a quick follow. Great homies in the community. And again, much love, brothers, for hopping on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
We'll have to get you guys on again as you know the year continues and see where we're at.
Don, thank you, brother. Really appreciate it.
Mark says thank you. All right, guys. Damn, guys. Mark, you are funny.
I feel like I'm on like transistor radio.
At least I can't hear myself right now. Guys, that was insane. The comp scene is real. You guys get your rigs dialed in. So that goes out to my homies, Maz Designs, Northwest Chassis Works, Killer Chassis. If you guys are seeing this right now, we're gonna need a 0 degree skid comp chassis. So please and thank you. Much love, Mark. Let's see what you're doing, brother. Any last words, or are you gonna sign off? Mark says he's good. He says he loves you guys. He says he hopes you guys have a great week. And hit us up, guys. Follow us, Dirt McGurk RC Steve 710. He's saying much love. And take a look at his FJ. He's gonna post lots and lots of pictures on his story. So if you guys want to see that, you have to follow him. And stay tuned, guys. February is going to be insane. So if you guys haven't had like a true comp build, or looking for a new fresh comp build for the year, all I can say, man, just watch out for February, guys. Well, all right. Have a great weekend, great week, and catch you guys next week. Later. Peace out, Mark.